Mississippi's elected representatives to Congress split their time between Washington, D.C. and their home districts. Congressman Michael Guest represents Mississippi 3. That district includes parts of Starkville, Meridian, the Jackson area, and over to the river. Recently, WCBI News Director Joey Barnes spoke with Guest by Zoom about issues affecting Mississippians.
And Congressman, we have a ruling in the much anticipated Dobbs versus Roe v. Wade, the U.S. Supreme Court ruling to essentially overturn Roe v. Wade. And one thing that, a lot of that Governor Reeves has said multiple times is we cannot just be anti-abortion. We have to be pro-life even after the child is born. An area where Mississippi struggles with infant mortality and also with mothers, the mortality rate for mothers shortly after birth. What role does the government have in this moving forward if it is to be pro-life and not just anti-abortion?
Well, first I want to talk a little bit about Dobbs v. Jackson. You're right, that opinion was handed down earlier today. It was consistent with the draft opinion that had been released earlier, in that the court did overturn Roe v. Wade, and Dobbs v. Jackson is now the law of the land, and basically it returns the protection of life back to the individual states. That is something that I was hopeful would happen. I actually authored an amicus brief to the United States Supreme Court on behalf of members of Congress, setting forth both legally and factually why Roe should be overturned. I think now that Roe has been overturned, I think that we as a state have to do a better job of promoting abortion. Promoting adoption. Now that abortion has been overturned, we've got to do a better job of promoting adoption. We all know of couples who want to have children, but for some reason they are unable to. We know of couples who have to travel not only outside the state of Mississippi, but outside the United States to adopt children. I believe that there are loving homes here in Mississippi that would love to have the opportunity to adopt children and raise those children in their homes. So we also have to do a better job with our foster care system. That's going to require additional funding from the state government. And so I think that we're going to have to, as Governor Reeves says, we're going to have to invest in adoption. We're going to have to invest in our foster care system. While it is great that we are going to be a state that is going to be very pro-life, we also must make sure that we are taking care of these children and that we are giving them a loving environment to grow up in.